got some trouble down the backstretch. Two cars, including Mark Martin, sliding through
Spun us down the back.
the inside of the track in our first caution of the night now.
You all right, Mark? Got a lot of got a lot of front.
A lot of front damage is what he was trying to say here. Let's try to get a look. You see the 17 car up there, and I think Mark was just trying to slide up there in front of Matt, and that was just a close call, and an inch would have done it.
Yeah, and you know,
Montoya.
whoa,
almost made it.
But you look at Matt. There's two cars coming from two different angles to the same spot on the racetrack, and you know it's one of those deals. It's give and take, and I don't think Matt thought that he was going to come up that quick either. I hate that for Mark, man.
Yeah, he was running 6th and 9th in the points coming into tonight.
See Matt up on the high side, and he's got a pretty good run there. I think Mark just closed up on him a little bit quicker than he realized. I tell you, Montoya did a really nice job there. That could have been big.
Yeah. And you know, he got down through the grass, and we'll have to see what it did to his splitter.
This is going to give you a really good idea of what it really looked like. You're running up high. All of a sudden, you've got a pretty good run, and you've got a lot of room in between Mark and the wall. And it just closes up, and you hear Matt got out of the throttle.
He did.
So he did try to cut Mark some slack, but it just wasn't enough.
And one thing that happens when you're in Mark's position, I'm going to say this, and you know this, Wally, when you're on that inside and you got that wheel cut and you start up the racetrack, sometimes the car will begin to take off, and if you let off that gas, the car takes off twice as bad.
You're right.
It just takes off twice as bad. It loses the nose and it flies the nose. And I think Matt let off, Mark probably let off a little bit. But if you notice that white line in that replay, there's not a car length above that white line. Matt was as high as he could go. Mark came up, and they just were fighting for the same place on the racetrack.
And that's one of the weird things. It's so much different here at Daytona than Talladega. Exactly what Kyle said. It's almost like you've got to keep the thing matted to keep the downforce on the front of the car. If you get off the throttle, you lose a little bit of that downforce on the front. And
might be contact between the two cars. It looks at this point that the tires are still up until they lock up. We can't see the left front. You see the right front below there as it slides across the pavement. But right here, you're going to see a great shot of the impact. Watch the softball. Watch how much it deforms as that 19 hits it. You're going to see how it absorbs the energy right here. Big hit. Great wary hit. You know, a few farther feet down, that wall turns back out to allow the safety vehicles come in and out. Luckily, he hit where he did. But it was great to see him drop the window, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I don't like that wall where it turns out like that. I wish the wall could continue straight and they move the inside wall. But you see right here, he got up the racetrack. I don't know if he had a problem prior to that. Obviously, he either had a tire going down or a handling issue. He got up the racetrack, got into the car beside him, and that got him going in this direction. Big impact.
Yeah.
Again, you know, thank you to Daytona International Speedway for putting these safer barriers up all the way around the racetrack. Again, you cannot control where these cars are going to hit. They will find places in walls, and will find places to hit. You have to have those barriers. Right here. Gets up the racetrack. Got a little bit loose, had to chase up the racetrack, made a little bit of contact. That started this whole incident.
You see him bring his hands into his belt so that his hands aren't on the steering wheel in case that steering wheel whips.
It does. These steering mechanisms in these cars over the years have become faster and faster, and what that means is when you lose control and the front tires go back and forth when you hit the wheel, that wheel can turn 180 degrees, and you can imagine the spokes in that steering wheel